Welcome back to episode 51 of the Get Well With Me podcast, where our philosophy here is excellence, not perfection. I'm Adrienne from adrienneheart.com, and together we explore the healing abilities of our unconscious mind while leaning in towards a more healthy lifestyle. We're embracing the idea that happiness is homemade and our life is only as good as our mindset. Please take a second to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Castbox, YouTube, your favorite listening app, wherever that might be. And today's topic, a hypnotic approach to releasing weight that no longer serves you. Yes, the title of the podcast is a hypnotic approach to weight loss, but the inner mind is not a big fan of losing anything. And then it also kind of leaves the loop open that once you lose something, you need to be looking for it and getting it back. So please give a little grace to the fact that weight loss is the name of the episode, because I want it to be found on the internet by people that are looking to release weight that no longer serves them anymore. On that topic, we want to notice that a hypnotic approach to weight loss is to be very careful with our words, because our inner mind, and I'm going to use these words interchangeably, inner mind, subconscious, unconscious, and the body. And I include the body because it is the part of the body that works automatically from the unconscious, the part of you that breathes and sleeps and does all the things that you don't have to tell it to do. So again, unconscious, subconscious, inner mind, and body. So I'm going to kind of throw those words around in this short episode. So we want to be very careful with the words that we use, because our inner mind is always listening in. It has its ear to the door, and it's listening to the words that we say, and it's essentially taking orders. The unconscious is a servant to us. It has a very specific task. It is to protect us, to keep us alive. So it will do anything that it thinks that we want it to do, and it will do anything that it thinks that we want it to do, as long as it's in alignment with those principles. It always has an underlying motive to somehow be bringing us a benefit or protecting us. So we want to be careful with the language that we use, because our inner mind takes things very literally. So if we say, I want to lose weight, it doesn't necessarily understand what we mean. For the instance of, or an example, maybe when you were a child, I'll just use myself as an example. Someone said that if you swallow an apple seed, then don't eat the seeds, which I don't know why we were told that, since seeds are so healthy for us to eat, but don't eat the seeds because an apple will grow in your tummy. Well, so I just believed that, because just like when you're a kid, you don't have a context. You just actually believe. If you have no reason to question, then you believe. And it's super important to remember that your inner mind, your subconscious, your body is always listening in on the language that you're using. So when you say, I have to lose weight, I need to lose weight, I'm so the F word, the 3-letter F word, those kinds of things are going to be really not helpful if your goal is to lose weight or to become the slender person who you really are. See, that's a hypnotic suggestion. I'm becoming the slender person who I really am. My body works with me to release anything that is no longer healthy. My body works with me to let go of, to willfully let go of anything that's no longer serving me. And you can see how this could be the 3-letter word FAT, but it could also be excess water. It could also be toxins that we're holding on to. It could also be emotional stuff that we're holding on to. So when we're giving ourselves permission, or even further so, giving our inner mind an order, like you're giving it to the waitress, go back to that kitchen. Maybe you'll say it more nicely than that, but I'd like to order. And whatever you order, the inner mind writes it down on that little cute little waitress pad, whatever that is, the little order taking pad thing. And it goes into the kitchen and it goes back to the chef. And the chef delivers up, presents to you exactly what you ordered. And do you know how exciting and empowering it is when we have the epiphany that our creator put inside of us this amazing mind, and we just need to communicate with it what it is we truly desire? That will free you from looking for answers in all the wrong places. When we understand that the reason that our body doesn't look the way that we want it to look is because we are not telling it what we really want. If we're constantly affirming that we are the 3-letter F word, that saying things to ourselves like, oh, well, my metabolism isn't what it used to be. And, oh, well, I used to be able to eat that with no harm, but oh, now it's just like rubbing it on my thighs, or every year I just get a little bit bigger. Those things that you say, those things that you think, and then when you combine them with the toxicity of self-loathing, it is a recipe for absolute disaster. So if your goal is to feel good, to have energy, all the energy that you need, and even a level of beauty or attractiveness or a radiant youthfulness, exhilarated feelings, self-healing, self-regulating, I can share with you that some of the things that I say to myself is, I have super metabolism. I have super metabolism. My body just burns up anything it doesn't need. It eliminates and willfully lets go of anything that is not helpful for it. What a philosophy. If we thought that way, we would have different results. And then when we can further program our mind to notice and consume foods that are beneficial, and to kind of turn the volume down on cravings, when we can go ahead and anchor, use kind of daily triggers, super short examples might be like putting on your gym shoes to take a walk. And then as soon as you put on those shoes, you get this feeling. You get this feeling like your metabolism's increasing. You can't wait to do your workout. Or you're motivated to take a power walk, or to get some fresh air, or to absorb some sunshine, whatever your path to health and well-being is. You can put a couple trigger points, and those actions that you take or words that you say can trigger you to take a certain set of actions that's beneficial. So this is what I mean by a hypnotic approach to weight loss: to simply communicate with your inner mind, to use the language that your body understands to get the results that you want. It's tremendous. There's no limit. There is no limit to how you can transform yourself. When you believe that you have these limits on you, when you have these self-imposed limits or these externally imposed limits, or when you're identifying with someone else's struggle versus owning your own struggle and realizing that a big part of this so-called struggle is the way that we're speaking to ourselves. If you did not have the advantage of growing up in a household where your parents or caregivers were not careful with their words, if they looked at you and said things to you at a young age like, wow, you're bulking up, or ooh, puberty hit you hard, or even, this is one of the most, I find this to be so inappropriate, when people say, I can't even tell you, I've been offended every time. Oh, you look like you've lost weight. What are you even talking about? Like, when you acknowledge that you think somebody lost weight, that means that you saw them as overweight before. That always rubs me the wrong way. I know that it's not personal, and that when someone says that they're trying to make it a compliment, but I make it a personal policy to not ever comment on someone's weight. How about this instead? Wow, you look great. You're glowing. You're radiant. You look like you feel good. Do you feel good? You look incredible. What are you doing different? Nothing is worse than someone says, you look like hell. Did you get any sleep last night? And in my case, I might be like, I slept for like 10 hours, but I just didn't put makeup on today. So thanks for your comments. You know, those types of things can have such an incredible amount of programming on us if we accept them. Now, we're grown-ups and we're aware, and certainly my audience and my community is aware. That's why you're listening in. We don't have to accept. We don't have to accept everything that someone says to us. We can say, thanks for sharing, or kind of like, I see where you're coming from. I hear what you're saying. But certainly not to agree with it and internalize it, because that can be really harmful. So we're going to go ahead into a couple more episodes with formulating hypnotic suggestions for releasing weight and eliminating from our body anything that no longer serves us. We're going to do one episode of affirmations and one episode of hypnotic suggestions. But I want to make sure that going into these next couple episodes that we're on the same page, that we are noticing the words that we say, particularly to others, because it'll help you to see the way that you judge yourself. So if you look at somebody and you say, oh, they have a flabby body part. I don't want to be specific because it's really not helpful. So, but notice how you're judging someone else. Notice when you're judging what they eat or how much they eat, or, how they take care of themselves, and use that for a guide as to, how are you being harsh to yourself? Do you give yourself permission to enjoy yourself sometimes? Because guess what? If you're at a birthday party and there's birthday cake and you want to have a little bit of birthday cake, that does not need to turn into a whole weekend of binge eating and self-loathing just because you were supposed to be on a health kick. We need to give ourselves so much grace and not go completely off track because we've indulged in a simple pleasure that we're absolutely entitled to have. Now, there is a time and a place for abstaining from things, but that is not everyday life, and that is not real life, and that is not sustainable, right? We're not fasting every day. We can't be on a diet every day. If we are, then that's why we yo-yo, because it is not just a lifestyle, it is a mindset. It is a state of being. It's that when you put food into your mouth, that there is no guilt associated with it, and that your body automatically goes into the mode of breaking it down and taking anything that is helpful for your vitality, your detoxification, and it actually goes in and eliminates anything that's harmful. Our bodies have ways to release things that are harmful from our systems. We don't need to talk about all of those different ways right now, but they are automatic processes that happen. But if we believe that we're holding on to these things, or that we've lost weight. I'm down 20 pounds. I lost 20 pounds. Well, we don't want to speak a language to our inner mind that's going to look for the lost 20 pounds and go back to the set equilibrium number that we have decided that, I mean, we literally have a number that we've decided that we weigh. That's true. You've decided that you weigh a certain number and you kind of hover over or under that number. And what we want to do is communicate to our inner mind exactly where we're healthy, or even let our inner mind kind of show us where we're healthy. I release weight until I get to a place of energy and optimum health and vitality. These are the types of thoughts that when we think them, when we say them, when we accept them, when we let them in, that we can give ourselves permission to let go of toxic water weight, toxic thoughts, toxic feelings. So before we get into a whole nother topic, I want to end there for today. I think we are now on the same page. A hypnotic approach to weight loss. It's not about particularly seeking help from a hypnotist. It is about learning to communicate with our inner minds, subconscious, unconscious, with our body. It's about giving the order to sending that order back to the kitchen for what we really want to see on the dashboard of our life. There's nothing fancy about it. It's really just harnessing the power that you've had all your life, the power of your words, the power of your thoughts, and making sure that our control center is on track with what we really want. Make sure that we're not undermining our own progress by working really hard to stick to a certain health plan, but all the meanwhile saying things that are programming our inner mind to against that goal, right? That tug of war, it's so exhausting. You're using all of your willpower to work on this healthier lifestyle or to get to a particular weight, but all in the meanwhile, looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you don't like what you see, and that your body's not efficient at burning up fat. So when we can kind of flip the script, and yes, it's a script. Yes, it's a program that is playing in your inner mind. And the one person who has the power to change the program is you. You're in the driver's seat, so I hope you're feeling super empowered and speaking to yourself lovingly and watching your words, and I will see you on the next episode. Much love. This episode was brought to you by Uncommon Knowledge Hypnosis Downloads. My closest friends know that I have a secret weapon for getting what I want, and it's hypnosis audio programs. When I discovered the power of hypnosis recordings more than 20 years ago, they were on cassette tape and I had to flip them over halfway through. So thankfully in 2021, it's as simple as clicking play and closing my eyes. Modern technology. Falling asleep at night to a hypnosis program playing in my ears has not only been the key to drifting off easily, but to waking up more rejuvenated. And no doubt it's by far the fastest way to make any lasting changes in my life. In the past, I've used hypnosis downloads for anti-anxiety, healthy eating, workplace performance, to make me into a morning person, to enjoy cleaning, increase my self-confidence, have the motivation to exercise, and even to make childbirth easier. Yes, hypnosis can do all that because it's actually you deciding to intentionally reprogram your mind that happens to run your life. And most recently, I noticed that procrastination was causing me to waste precious, non-refundable time. So I went on a quest to find my answer. That's when I discovered the trustworthy and professional team of hypnotists at Uncommon Knowledge. They're based in the UK, and they put ethics first. They even have a 90-day money-back guarantee to prove it. The quality of their hypnosis recordings absolutely speaks for themselves. Thousands of people have experienced immediate and noticeable results from listening to hypnosis downloads, and I am one of those people. So I was over the moon to find out that my podcast would be a perfect fit for a sponsor like Uncommon Knowledge. You might think it's priceless to program your mind for the body and life that you desire, and especially priceless to not even have to pick up the phone and make an appointment, to just simply put on some headphones while you're comfy and cozy in your own recliner at home. But there is a price, and it's far less than you're thinking. For about the same amount as you would spend on your lunch, you can have the tool that you need to free yourself from misery, move towards clarity so that you can take action. Maybe you want to stop biting your nails or sleep better, or quit smoking, or stop procrastinating. What's your thing? Could now be the time to get out of your own way and hold the door open for yourself? You can do that by checking out the incredible selection of hypnosis downloads. There's a link in the show notes, or you can find it at adriannehart.com. Until next time, much love.